Afternoon. Dwayne here, Dry Creek Wrangler School. 22nd of November, the Monday before Thanksgiving. Finally starting to cool off a little here in Bandera, Texas. We're out here and got a bit of a fire going, letting it cook down to some coals, and Mom and I are gonna do a couple of hamburgers out on the fire for supper tonight. Got my order in for some Charter Oak Habanos. Got in today from my tobacco store, and really like these guys. If you're looking for a good hand-rolled smoke at an affordable price, affordable changes for everybody. I get these, and they're good hand-rolled cigars, and I get them from foxcigar.com. By the box, you're looking at about $6 a piece, $6.60, and so that's a little bit more reasonable for a daily cigar. But they're really good. The Charter Oak, they have the Connecticut shade, the Habanos, and the Maduros. And the Habanos are just right in the middle between the lighter Connecticut shades and the little bit stronger Habanos. So anyhow, that's what we got going this evening. I want to carry on this thought we've been doing the last few videos about communicating with your horse. I don't want to call it horse training. I'm about getting to the point where it's not really horse training. It's building a relationship with your horse. A relationship with your horse is like a relationship with anything or anybody else. Okay? It's based on communication. Communication is not simply speaking so that they can hear. Communication is listening. And communication starts with thinking. So this video tonight, instead of we're going to do a little thinking, okay? And I'm not going to we're not going to think about how's the best way to say what I want to say to my horse so my horse understands it. Tonight, we're going to talk about listening to what my horse is saying. So the question I want to ask tonight, what are you telling your horse? Now, let's illustrate that, okay? Picture this in your head. You've got a pasture or a pen or a corral, whatever your setup is. And you've got two horses out there first thing in the morning. All right, one is kind of halfway out away from the fence to the left. Another one's in the far corner to the right. Now you're on your way to work, and so what you do is what you do every morning. You stop on the way by, and you throw a square bale of hay over the fence to feed your horses on the way out. Or use grain, whatever you use, all right? Follow me here and picture this. Now, what happens? When you throw that bale of hay over the fence, what happens? 90% of the time, 90% of the horses in the situation is the two horses are going to head in from opposite corners where they're going to come in to get their hay. Now, if you stop and watch, I pretty well bet that one horse is going to come towards the hay, the other horse is going to come in, but at some point or another, they're going to peel off. And they're either going to peel off and come out here and stop, or they're going to peel off and come in to the side. And they're going to come in kind of slow and cautious, so maybe reach out and start nibbling on the outside of that bale of hay. What happened? There was a communication between those two. Did you hear it? Did you see it? Did you follow the conversation that went on? I guarantee the conversation went something like this. Let's say this horse that was about halfway out was coming in. This one was coming in. At some point, one of these horses dropped its head, maybe just about that much. Dropped its head, pinned the ear back, and gave the stink eye to the other horse out of the corner of his eye. And what he said loud and clear was, "Hey, I'm boss hog today. I get the hay first. Stay off my feed." And he said it very loud and clear to the other horse, or she did. And the other horse heard it. Now let's move that to you and I, okay? because that's the only language the horse knows. So the language that they speak to another horse, they speak to you in the exact same language. Can you hear it? Let's say you only have the one horse in the pen, and you come out and you're on your way to work and you throw a flake of hay over to them, or you grab a bucket of feed, you carry it out of the barn and you dump it over in the trough. Now, a lot of times what happens is you're standing there for a second, the horse is coming in, and the horse does the exact same thing to you. His head will go down just a little bit, her ear will come back just a little bit, and she'll look at you out of the corner of her eye. And what will you do? You'll say, oh, I'm already 5 minutes late, I got to get to work. You'll turn around and walk away. You'll go and get in your car and you'll go to work because you did your duty for the day. You fed your horse. And the horse says, I told them I'm boss horse today. I'm boss hog. That's my feed. Get off my feed. And when you turned and walked away, you said, yes, ma'am, you're boss today. You are the most important. You are the top of the pecking order in the pasture today. You didn't even know you told them that, but you told them that. And you do that day after day after day. You'll tell the horse, without meaning to, without knowing it, you are the alpha in the herd today. And then there come the time for you to ride your horse, you'll go catch your horse, and your horse will try to be bossy. And you'll say, why is my horse bossy today? And your horse will say, why today do you think that you're at the top of the rung on this ladder when you've been telling me all week I'm at the top of the rung on this ladder? So you've been having a conversation with your horse all week that you didn't even know about. Not because your horse doesn't speak your language, but because you have not bothered to learn your horse's language. A relationship is communication. Communication is speaking and listening, and that takes thought and trying. Are you married? How long have you been married? How many times have you sat down and tried to figure out? If you're a husband, I guarantee over the years, there's been a countless times you sat down and said, what is she trying to say? I heard the words, but that ain't what she's saying. And you've had to sit down and think and listen close and read between the lines and learn to listen to her communication. And when you finally learn to listen to her communication and learn to communicate to her, your relationship gets better. It gets closer. It's the same with your horse. It's the same with your horse. It's not training your horse to know what you're trying to tell your horse. That's only half the equation. The other half is training yourself to listen to what your horse is telling you every day. And that takes observation, it takes humility, and it takes consistency. Because every minute you're with your horse, you're training them. You're training them good, you're training them bad, you're training them intentionally, or you're training them accidentally. But you're training your horse. All right, so that's it. That's all I want to give you tonight. And if you like it, click like. If it helps you, if you have any questions, keep on with the questions. What I really like the feedback. I like you guys. Well, with my horse, what I found was this, and this is what I'm doing. Keep it up. This is our channel. We're learning from each other. This is a place where people can come in and say, hey, that works for me. Or, hey, that didn't work for me, but I found this and it did. Okay? If you haven't subscribed, why don't you think about it? Go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell so that you get notified if I put something else up. If you want to help support this channel so we can keep putting these videos out and stuff, we do have a Patreon page, Dry Creek Wrangler, if you want to go check that out. And but you keep learning, you keep growing, you keep studying, and enjoy the journey of communication and relationship with your horse. And this is Dwayne, and we'll catch you next time.